Been doing more of these of late, and tonight I thought I'd talk about some dangers that I don't see many other people talking about. Now, of course, at this point in time, we've seen Portland and Antifa. We've seen the Democrats, which seem to literally be slitting their own throats with stupidity, and basically suggesting uncivility with no concept of how the majority of Americans, they really don't care for drama like that. So we see the walkaway movement, and it really does seem like a lot of people are abandoning the Democratic Party. Seems like death knell because of stupidity. So the problem that a lot of people don't seem to be talking about is how vacuums are created, and nobody really talking about what we do in order to be vigilant concerning what rushes into that vacuum. I mean, it's great when your side is winning and it seems like things are going right. And when you have people of integrity and honesty, well, that's an okay thing. But if the ones in representative roles are not honest and they lack integrity, and they wind up really being into it for their own self benefit, it presents a problem. So, what happens if the conservatives and Republicans and the right are right, and we really are seeing the demise of the Democratic Party again because of stupidity, violence? I mean, we have seen the left character assassinate Kanye because of his support of President Trump. We have seen, how many different Democratic representatives call for the uncivility. Again, the stuff that's going on with Antifa and why they're not domestic terrorists. How do we, as a nation, as a people, as Americans, help ensure that whatever fills that void is not just more of the same? My experience at this point and my observation, it seems to be like more and more people are starting to wake up. They're starting to see various things that either they didn't want to recognize before or they ignored because they had too much going on in their lives. But now, things are getting to a point where it's almost impossible to ignore. Most of us that have been doing this for a while, we are aware that there is more than left versus right. We know that there is more than Republican versus Democrat. Um, so, what is the next party, the Democratic gap? The other question becomes, with the way the present system is rigged to where most people only know about Democrat or Republican, and don't get me wrong, we've been able to see some stuff like Libertarian, Green Party. Most people are aware of those, but most of the time, again, it's something that's never covered in debates. Political process and debates are typically either Republican or Democrat. So what needs to be done at this point in time? You know, a lot of people have been having an issue and complaining about the fact that the political process does marginalize and push out anything not Democrat or Republican. So, to me, we have to be careful because something is going to rush in to fill that void. And if it's like a lot of other politicians that only tell you what you want to hear, it is going to just be more of the same. So, when I look at things, especially the Kanye stuff, CNN, I mean, what makes me laugh is they had an all black panel so that they could say what they said because the ideology out there that suggests that a minority cannot be racist. It boils it down to the idea that racism is related to the person's skin color. And when I say that, I'm talking about the ones that perpetuate it, the ones that are doing it. And that's not the case. It's a mindset. Again, this double meaning and muddying of the waters. And this comes from supposed educated people. It's always suggested that the minority can't be racist. I call bullshit on that. Racist is not skin color. It is a hatred. It is an intolerance. And that is things that any human being is capable of. Your skin color does not inoculate you from that problem. It does not inoculate you from hateful thoughts. Anyways, keep your eyes open for what starts to develop. And remember, just because the ones in representative power may be honorable, it doesn't mean that the ones there in future will be. And this is the same for all things. Decisions today and actions of the people by no way ensures continued action in the future. And a tool in the hands of somebody with morality and honesty is very different than a tool in the hands of somebody lacking morality and being dishonest. Keep an eye on it. Something for you to think about.